everyone, I'm Amy Lee Miller, and today I want to talk about how we feel when we think certain thoughts, whether they empower or disempower us. If we're carrying around thoughts that are making us feel bad, there's likely some healing to be done around that. And we start by looking within. So here's an example. A new prospective client reached out to me recently. This is for my other line of work that I do. And so she wanted to potentially hire me for my services. In our initial brief conversation, she told me that I'm the only female that came recommended to her. Is this an empowering thought? She may not realize it, but she's attempting to plant a seed in my head that I should somehow maybe expect to get less work in my line of business because I'm female. And that thought never ever occurred to me. So I made sure to shut it down right there. I think I said something to the effect of, oh, well, I don't think of myself as a female worker here. I just do the work and get the job done. And that kind of, our conversation ended shortly after that. But the reason that my name came highly recommended to her is because of my strong work ethic, my integrity, and my proven track record. And my attitude, why I'm successful is that I have an unwavering belief in myself, and I have that in others too. It is empowering to walk around holding ourselves in high regard and having high standards and expecting to be treated fairly, because why shouldn't we? And the knowledge that she is walking around with that thought in her head, this disempowering thought, that she is expecting to be mistreated or discriminated against because she's a woman, that lets me know that she's carrying around this disempowering belief and that she's likely not feeling as good as she could about herself. I also have never had the thought that I might make less money than my male counterparts. I work very hard, commission only in business for myself, and I do very well. But even before, in my last company where there were other employees there, we would see everybody's numbers, and the three top producers were myself and two other women, and those two women have young children. So none of us are going around thinking we're going to get less work or make less money than the guys do because we're women. We just work hard and we do the work and we believe in ourselves, and so we're successful, and that's the empowering attitude that I carry with me, and I want to encourage others to have that too. So I actually feel bad for her because I know on some level she's not as happy as she could be because she's carrying around this disempowering belief. And remember, we attract more of how we're feeling. So when we're walking around carrying these disempowering beliefs, we're going to have more of these experiences. So recently I shared a concept of Jordan Peterson's with a good friend of mine. If you don't know Jordan Peterson, he's a Canadian clinical psychologist. He's an author, a professor of psychology, and a YouTube personality. And I've learned so many great takeaways from listening to his talks, just simple things that can really positively impact our lives in a big way. One of the things he shares is that it's not only healthy but necessary to have disagreements and arguments in our close relationships sometimes, because otherwise we are not challenging and helping each other grow. We get bored, and likely, he said, it doesn't last, like significant other types of relationships, and maybe friendships also. And another recommendation he shares in one of his videos is, if you keep thinking about the past, write about it. There's likely some healing to be done there. So I took his advice, and 175 pages later I thought, hey, I think I have my first book here. It's heartfelt, it's funny, it's dark at times, and most importantly, it is helping me to heal. And when I finish it, I will dedicate it in part to Jordan Peterson. So anyway, a friend of mine was telling me that he's having kind of a challenging time. So I shared this recommendation of Jordan Peterson's to, write about it. And my friend said to me, he doesn't like Jordan Peterson because he thinks that he propagates thoughts that lead to incidents like the attack on the Capitol. Is this an empowering belief? Is it empowering to go around thinking that people don't have control over their own minds, their own thoughts, their own actions? If somebody inflicts harm on another and or commits a crime, that is that individual's choice. And I think the deeper underlying issue is, how is that person feeling about themselves? We project how we feel. So there's likely some healing, some deeper underlying issue that needs to be addressed. When we mistreat others, we're not feeling good about ourselves. And when we look within to try and uncover what the real problem is and why we're getting triggered by certain things and why our reaction is what it is then when we can begin to heal. And then our actions outward will be of higher integrity. With the current state of things, I'm now talking about our economy and jobs. We have some people who don't want to return to work because they're getting enough money from the government, and then we have business owners who can't fully staff their businesses. This is not good for so many reasons, for the health of our economy and our great nation, but also often when we're not working, we lose our sense of purpose, having a responsibility to ourselves and to others, having tasks to complete, mentally and physically exhausting ourselves each day, making a difference in others' lives through the work that we do, keeps us feeling good. When we're sitting around idle as adults or even as children without a means to funnel our energy, we become restless, we become frustrated, we become angry, we become unhappy, and then how we're feeling starts to manifest in our actions. And ultimately, the less of a belief in ourselves that we might have something to offer. And then we become less and less connected to those of us who do believe in ourselves, to those of us who do go to work and work hard every day and who do feel good about ourselves. And then we have more and more divisiveness, and this is not good for our communities and for our nation. The best way to contribute is to believe in ourselves and to empower others to believe in themselves. When we pick up the slack for others, including, for example, maybe our grown children that we continue to pay the bills for, we're basically saying, I don't believe that you can do for you, so I will do for you. And actions, of course, speak very loud. This is harmful. Yes, it can be hard to do for ourselves, but it's also such a great sense of purpose and fulfillment. And the greatest kind of empowerment is that which we give ourselves. And that starts with what we're thinking up here. So if you've got some thoughts swimming around in your head that are maybe making you feel disempowered, take a deeper look there. By looking within, that is taking the first step to healing and a step toward empowerment. I'm Amy Lee Miller, and I believe in you.